I have to prod him, so you'll notice that right when he comes in. Armando, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
He's ready.
I'm very shy.
You're very shy. And he's even got glasses.
No, I want to show you something because you know me. I come prepared for just
See
about
how the volume of the room automatically goes up when he comes in?
Go ahead. You want to? We've got a lot of stuff.
Hi, Ricky. How are you? Oh, we got a pizza. Look at this.
Okay, so Ricky, which side? You said this side, right?
Whoa,
beautiful. Look at this.
Look at that.
Okay, and then obviously we have to throw that because I have to do something. I have to do something. Hold on.
Look at this. Oh, he's got to do some skill here.
Okay,
Armando likes to wear his general manager's chef coat when he does this.
He does.
And he does jump behind the line and cook. So.
And this is the best part. This is a fantastic olive oil that I know this is going to sound really, touche, but I only use olive oils for my wineries that we do a lot of work with. Mastro Berardino being one of them. This is a Soleon, which is a olive oil that is absolutely fantastic. Here, smell this. Smell the bottle because
I was smelling as you're pouring it. I know it hit the basil, but I was smelling it still as you're pouring it.
All right, so you can do the talking. I'm going to open your special bottle.
I can do the talking. So I have to say that Armando has, he's not shy on social media
Never.
either. The other night, he was a true gentleman and was showing some of my guests that are going to be here next week. Yolenis, a restaurant that opened just down the street here, a great new Greek restaurant. The two of the owners and I had become good friends, and we were out on the hill, and Armando did an Italian wine tasting. So I have to tell you, it goes back to me always talking about in this various segments about the camaraderie of the restaurants in the state of Rhode Island and the bringing people together. And I want to, again, thank you personally for your hospitality the night. It was a fantastic
Bacchus
tasting.
met Bacchus.
Bacchus,
He knows what I mean by that.
So now, Armando, if you've been watching and following him on social media, it's a treat. You need to do it. Is that he now has Bacchus.
I have
right
Bacchus
under
right here.
Right there.
Yes.
So we were joking around how Armando is now the Bacchus of Federal Hill.
The Bacchus of the Hill.
The Bacchus of the Hill.
Ah.
Love that sound.
So always, I wanted to bring something. Now, I've been listening to everybody speaking today, and we've really been, my belief is exactly what everybody's saying, which is...
And I got to tell you, I got to get you and Jessica together. You two would love each other.
We actually have a little past. I told her, I opened up the first Rosso Pomodoro in Florida, which is actually the pizzeria that's inside Italy. So it's a very small world. It's a very small world.
I got to get all you guys.
So this is a sparkling Verdicchio.
Verdicchio.
From Le Marche. Sparkling wines are just... Yeah, that's just good.
This is something you can enjoy all summer.
All summer. It's dry. It's big. If you're a fan of crisp white wines that are not very light, this is a way to go. Now I will say, we always talk about this. I love reds as much as I love whites, as much as I love sparklings. But the sparkling wines for me, the last year and a half, 2 years of my life, have really kind of become a very big part of my wine drinking. And I just think it's a wine that can really drink with anything. So
in talking about your wine drinking, so you've your passion has evolved. It's really, really evolved over the last, I'd say even year, right?
Year, yeah.
So you just recently went to Vin Italy. Now, Vin Italy, I encourage you just to Google it, just to look up to see what it is this amazing expo, for lack of better terms, right?
It's an expo.
That people are coming together from all over the world to experience only Italian wines.
Only Italian wines from every region of Italy.
Now, this is the second year you went?
This is my second year that I went, yes.
So, again, if you follow Armando on social media like I do, you would see the amazing pictures of the places that he went with his girlfriend, Gabby, and Gabrielle. Sorry.
No, that's okay. We call her Gabby. It's okay.
Is that the pictures were unbelievable. And similar to Jessica that was just in here from the Savory Grape, your experiences and the connections you made have brought things back to Rhode Island that wouldn't normally be here, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. We are, the first one is the major one that I think we've spoken in the past, but we've gotten rid of at Zooma all of the major varietals, not because we want to do a disrespect to the people, but we want to teach them something. So we've gotten a lot of grapes that, like Jessica said before, there are hundreds and millions and thousands really of varietals in Italy that most people don't know of. Very much like the Verdicchio or anything like the Aglianico or the Piedirosso or really there's a ton of them. So what we've now done is we've been able to move out of the idea of giving someone a Pinot Grigio or a Prosecco, and we've given them a substitute that really teaches their palate. It doesn't, we educate palates. That's why people drink wine. Rick, when he probably started drinking wine, a long time ago, was probably drinking the Chiantis out of those, the old what do you call those things?
I was drinking them out of the cask.
The cask, yeah. And now I probably believe if you give him a glass of that Chianti, he'd probably,
I don't know what I would do then.
chuck it out. Yeah. So again, that's really the important part, and that's what we want to. We want to teach the consumers how to drink better wines.
So I'm getting some questions right now for you about this. So, and I want to talk about, from the standpoint of the things that you brought back and you learned from Vin Italy, and I experienced this the other day, and I want to make sure we bring it up. You added a new piece, and then Joe, I'm going to ask right now because I experienced the other day. You added a new piece to the restaurant in January, I think you told me, right?
Mid-January.
So mid-January. So talk about what you added, because this
Sure.
is added to the enhancement of education
Sure.
from Zooma. So
We closed the first week of January to open up to rebuild the bar area, and in the bar area, if you walk in, now you will see a 32 wine. Oh my God! I gave you the name last night.
Yeah,
No, hold on. It's just escaped my mind.
Oh my God.
It's a Cuvinay system. They're built in Italy. I'm gonna
go back to looking what you told me right now.
Because Enomatic.
Enomatic, okay.
Enomatic,
Okay.
and it's basically every line has a wine. You can pour it in 2 ounces, you can pour it in 6 ounces or in 9 ounces. So when you come to the restaurant, you can order any of those in those 3 sizes.
Right.
The 2 ounces are specific for doing flights. You can do flights of 3s, white, red, sparkling, whatever you want. And again, the reds are coming out of the machine. The whites are obviously chilled and cooled. Right. And that opportunity gives us a shot to just pour an ounce if somebody wants to try it.
So how many
like what we did with George.
Yeah. So how many of these do you have? Because that whole case is.
It's 32. It's 4 machines. Each machine carries 8 channels. So it's 32 in the whole bar.
So this is a scene, and I've seen these in other states where I've traveled around. In
Florida, Miami has.
Yeah, they've got. It's almost like a tasting room. You go and you purchase a card, and you use the card to put into the machine to pour yourself a 3, 6, 9, whatever you'd like to have to enjoy the wine. But your system, when you walk in now to Zooma, it's pretty much the first thing you see. It's lined behind.
It's right behind
the entire bar.
Yeah. So, and I say this too, Rick, and you know this. The opportunity to go to Providence and go to a restaurant and literally try 60 wines by the glass is something. And I mean, I say 60. In reality, we have more than that. But I mean, we have 4 or 5 specials bottles a week that we sell outside of the regular. So we're doing 75 glasses of all different wines, all different types, stuff like this, where you're introduced to something brand new.
So last year for National Wine Day, I made the stops and I went to 3 or 4 different places. This year I will definitely be stopping by Trattoria Zooma on Federal Hill because Armando just has great selections. It's an easy thing for me to get over to. So Armando and I will be putting that out there as to when I'll be stopping by. But to help you, before we get into the food pairing and this other wine, is Armando has generously donated a gift certificate, which we will be putting out on social media probably by tomorrow on Instagram. So if you aren't already following me on Instagram, follow The Taste on Instagram. Follow Armando. We're going to be tagging everybody that's there so that you can check it out because it's a good thing to be able to use, and we'll make sure we get it to you so that you can use it in honor of National Wine Day. Now, segueing from that.
Yes.
One of the questions that I got, and you happened to bring a pizza, which is amazing, was
shocking.
Shocking. What wines pair with pizza? And this was a question from someone that goes to you, is that they know that you've got the variety of pizzas there. You know that you've got all these different things. People think that it's hard to find a wine to go with pizza.
Okay, I think it's again, being that I've been a pizza eater most of my life. I grew up in a city that only eats pizza. There's a few wines out there that I would tell most people when it comes. Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But the pizza, the key ingredient to pizza in our case, is the wood oven. So you have to find a profile of a wine that really blends that wood flavor really, really well.
Okay.
Most people say that the Barbera d'Alba is the wine to eat with pizza. I'm not a humongous believer in that. I think because pizza is such a Southern Italian and Neapolitan thing, you have to find the wines and the varietals of wines that are made in that area because they understand the profiles of the stuff that you're eating. So I go back and I always say the Aglianico to me is the one wine that goes incredibly well with pizza. The Aglianico is big, it's robust, it carries well for the tomato, it carries well for the wood flavor, it carries well for a good olive oil because the olive oil that you smell on this pizza is bitter. So you need a wine that kind of carries everything well. with it. And I believe the Aglianico, but I will tell you, we have a wine coming in, which I told you about.
Yep.
It's called Otto Uve. It's made by a gentleman by the name of Salvatore Martuscello, little Italian guy. And,
Just a little.
Just a little. And he makes a wine called Vino di Gragnano. Gragnano is a small little city. Most people know Gragnano by the pasta.
Okay.
Okay? And it's basically a red wine that you have to drink it cold, kind of like a Lambrusco.
Okay.
Very similar in style of color and profile of a Lambrusco, but the flavor is more cherry, and it carries on it. It holds a little bitterness. And the Neapolitans, when they created this wine, when they made this wine, they did it specifically to have with pizza. And this is a wine that I'll have on the new list in about 3 weeks.
So I can tell you, beyond asking him and the systems that he have in place, it's worth being able to try different things with pizza. I've done it over and over. Even just having pizza at home, I've done it over again. All right, so tell me what you brought here.
Okay.
Because, as usual, I'll run out of time with Armando, but I promise Friday when we go live from there, we'll be okay.
Okay.
Tell me what you brought
Quickly,
there.
this is a frisella. Frisella is basically, looks like a piece of dried bread. The old farms in old Italy used to basically, they would keep bread and they would just let it harden. And then what you did was, because of the poverty at the time, they would just soak it in water, salt, and a little bit of oil, and then
Really?
top a salad on top. Now, this salad is quite simple. It's just tomatoes, black and green olives, a little bit of arugula, some red onions, and my favorite piece, a fresh buffalo mozzarella, which we get imported from Naples
Sounds
every week.
amazing.
This one goes incredibly well with the bonci, which you can take home and bonci yourself out all
Roughy.
for the rest of the
Rough
night.
thing over there. Okay.
Now, the Yasarte, which is the one that I wanted to bring for the pizza, this is a little different, and please try it, and then I'll explain. I love coming here because I drink by 3:30.
Dry with a lot of fruit.
Okay. Now, when I tell you about this, you're going to be like, okay. The winemaker, his name is Michele Scienza, and in English, in Italian, Scienza means science. I thought it was a joke when I met the guy, but the guy is he's an actual scientist. This is a 30 varietal blend. Yeah, the face is weird. 30 varietals, okay?
30 varietals in one wine.
In one wine. What he did was he owns a bunch of, and again, when you come to the restaurant, I'll be able to show you this, but it's clear. Where he grows all of his wine, he has a different, and what he did was he basically mixed all of these together because of his concept of creating the old with the new.
Somebody I'm making an announcement between Armando's 30 things here. No, I'm not giving the gift certificate away now. Stop instant messaging me, people. I'm going to give it away on Instagram. Okay.
So
but I've never heard.
Neither did I.
Okay, so good. See, I interrupted him for a good reason. I've never heard of 30 varietals.
Neither did I. And this is why, and this is where, you said before, what did I learn in Italy?
Yeah.
And I think the two major things that really came to me in Italy this time around, the first one is 30% of most wineries in the next 10 years are going to become biologici, organic.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And we're going to be the first ones to bring in 3 wines from Abruzzo that are actually vegan. Okay. And when I tell you that, you would never know the difference. But vegan wines, organic wines, a lot of these wineries are already organic,
yeah.
but they need to do a 3-4 year process before they can actually stamp the word organic behind the bottle.
Okay.
Everybody's going ecosystem
So it's more like
friendly.
they got to come this classification to be able to get it to do it. Okay.
And the second thing, and this is the big thing, and this is where Michele and the Yasarte are really important to me, is that, again, I go back generationally, and we've talked about this. The pops, the grandparents that were winemakers are now giving it up to the kids.
Right.
These kids who are now in their 50s, 50, 55, these people are becoming more, they're building wine in a different demeanor because, quite honestly.
Well, it's the generational difference. Even though the grandparents held on to it or the parents held on to it for
but
so
the old
long,
school is gone, and the new
Right.
school, stuff like this, where a gentleman goes into the wine room and starts blending things together and gets profiles because in his mind there's a historical reason to do this. It's almost scientific, and it's really cool, and you're getting some stuff that is amazing. I mean, we went back to the story of the gentleman in Naples
Right.
who found a piece of stick
Yeah,
from
he was able to clone the grape from. So this goes back to every guest that I've had today, is that all of my guests have this passion, this knowledge, this enthusiasm that even goes far beyond mine to be able to go in and talk to them and learn from. And with Friday being National Wine Day, start out your summer in the right way. I know it's still not officially summer, but start out your
it's
summer in the right
summer today.
way to try to enjoy, become educated, talk about the things that can go. Armando was making one suggestion on the pizzas. There's so many wines that I've enjoyed. His system that he has in place to be able to go there, and whether you're at a table or at the bar, and be able to ask the questions that have been brought up, and people are asking me things now, and be able to have a 3 ounce, right? It was the
2 ounce. 2 ounce.
We have a 2 ounce thing, which is literally, well, for me it's a sip, but it's a tasting. To be able to do that and try these different things is so worth it. And he calls himself now the Bacchus of Federal Hill, and he'll prove it later on for you. But to be able to have this and do this and try these different things and the experiences, it's what it's all about. So this Friday, make sure some way, shape, or form you celebrate National Wine Day leading into the weekend. Check out the great guests that I've had on today. Next week, as promised, I am bringing in new restaurants. We've got 3 great new restaurants that have opened up. Frank Pepe's, I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. Yeleni's right down the street. And Oh Boy, which is a brand new restaurant that's opened down on Westminster Street. So I've got those 3 tremendous guests that'll be here next week to talk about the new experiences that they are creating for all us to enjoy. I'm Rick Simone. Thanks for joining me on The Taste today. No big surprise with Armando.
Happy National Wine Day.
So thank you very much.
Ciao.